Welcome to The Explainer. You've seen it, right? Some AI videos look like a janky, random mess, while others, they tell a real story, something that actually looks cinematic. Well, today, we're going to break down a completely professional workflow that turns that AI chaos into coherent, amazing creations.
I mean, the difference is just staggering, isn't it? On the left, that's what we usually get. Characters changing from shot to shot, backgrounds that make no sense, a total mess. But on the right, you get a cohesive world, a story that actually flows. And the secret isn't some brand new magical AI. It's just a much smarter process.
In that whole process, it starts right here, with the story itself. See, to get professional results, you've got to stop thinking like you're just typing in a prompt and start thinking like a screenwriter. It all begins with a really powerful story blueprint.
And this, right here, is such a crucial point. We are not talking about just making a couple of funny one-off clips that you forget about in 5 minutes. No, this is about building a robust system for storytelling, a workflow that lets you create entire, consistent episodes.
So instead of just vaguely asking the AI for, a horror story, you give it a structured brief like this. You're basically handing it the architectural plans for your narrative. By defining the genre, the mood, the length, you're forcing the AI to give you something way more focused and way more interesting.
Okay, so you've got this amazing story, but a great story can completely fall apart when you try to turn it into visuals without a clear plan. So the next step is breaking it down into individual scenes. But man, if you've ever tried to do this by hand, it is so tedious. Luckily, there's a much smarter way.
The workflow here is actually a two-step process. First, you can use a tool like Catalyst.ai to get a really detailed initial scene list. Then, and this is the key part, you feed that big list, along with your entire story, into a powerhouse AI like Gemini 1.5 Pro. And you use a specific prompt to tell it, refine this. Cut out everything that isn't totally essential. And what you get is a tight, focused, short blueprint.
And now we get to what is, without a doubt, the single biggest problem in AI video: consistency. Right? How do you make sure your main character actually looks like the same person in every single shot? Well, the answer is to build what we're going to call a consistency engine.
So here it is, the crucial insight. You have to stop describing your character from scratch in every new prompt. That's where all the inconsistency comes from. Instead, you create one single, definitive master profile with every possible detail. This profile becomes the one and only source of truth for the AI, and that is how you get perfect consistency every single time.
So, using another specialized prompt, you feed the AI your story and that short blueprint we just made, and what it spits out are these 3 absolutely crucial assets. This is so smart because you're front-loading the AI with all the consistent info it needs to build a coherent world before you even think about generating a single image.
All right, with our story blueprint and our character master profiles all ready to go, it's time to head to the assembly line. The recommended tool for this is called VXAI. And it's actually really well designed for this kind of layered, piece-by-piece image generation.
Just look at how methodical this is. You're not just throwing one giant messy prompt at the AI and, crossing your fingers. You are building the final image from consistent pre-made parts. You create your characters once, your backgrounds once, your style once, and then you just assemble them scene by scene. And this is like the magic command that pulls it all together. You go back to your AI chat, the one that has all the context of your story and characters, and you just give it this simple instruction. And because it already knows everything, it writes the perfect, super detailed prompt for scene 1, or scene 6, or whatever scene you need.
Now, even with a system this powerful, AIs are still going to do weird AI things. So let's look at 2 really common problems and, more importantly, how to fix them.
Oh man, you've seen this, right? It is so creepy. You ask for a simple back view of a character, and you get something straight out of a horror movie. And the reason this happens is because the AI is so trained on showing faces that it will literally break the laws of physics to try and get a face in the shot.
The solution is so simple, it's actually kind of brilliant. You just go into the final prompt for that specific image, and you manually delete any mention of the character's face, their eyes, their nose, their expression, get rid of all of it. If you remove the description of the face, the AI stops trying to generate it, and boom, you get a true, complete back view.
Okay, this is another classic one that will drive you nuts. You ask for a tight close-up, but the AI, because it knows the character's full description from that master profile, right down to their shoes, it tries to include everything. And you end up with this weird, squished, badly framed shot.
And here is the super elegant fix. You have to match how much detail you give in the prompt to the shot type you actually want. So for a close-up, you edit the prompt to only describe what you would see in a close-up, just the upper body. For a medium shot, you describe the clothes, but you leave out the shoes. This forces the AI to frame the shot correctly, because it's only trying to draw what you've actually described.
Okay, you've done the hard work, you followed the process, you fixed the glitches, and now you have a folder full of consistent, beautiful, cinematic images. It is time to turn this into a finished video.
Now, when it comes to animating your images, yeah, you can use free tools and they'll get the job done. But honestly, a cheap subscription service will usually give you faster and much better results. And for the voiceover, look, AI voices get better every day. But a real human voice, it just brings an emotion and a soul to the story that AI can't quite replicate. Not yet, anyway.
You know, when you really boil it all down, this entire powerful workflow, it really just relies on 4 master prompts that you use in sequence. One to write the story, a second to build that whole consistency engine, a third to assemble your scene prompts, and a fourth to generate the animation prompts. It's a completely manageable and repeatable system.
And really, this quote right here is the golden rule for fixing almost any weird visual glitch. Whether you're dealing with a creepy back view or a botched close-up, the secret is always to make sure your text prompt perfectly matches what should actually be visible on screen. It's so simple. Don't describe what you can't see.
By following a structured, professional process like this one, you really move from just being a user of AI to being a director. The technology stops being this random image machine and becomes a powerful tool to execute your specific creative vision. So, the only question left is, what will you create? Thanks for watching The Explainer.